All right, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Found Her podcast. I am your host, Kelly Chaika, and I'm so excited to be here. Today, we are recording an episode in a new location. Obviously, you don't really ever see much of my background in general, but I am officially moved into my new house, and I'm so excited. It has been so crazy, but so fun to just be able to decorate the way I want to, buy new furniture. The place is way too big for what I need, but I'm very grateful. So we're in a little bit of a different space. I'm hoping I have a bedroom that I'm turning into the podcast room. So I'm hoping it's going to get more fun, cutesy, whatever as we go. So we will see. But life has just been a little bit crazy lately, and I feel like I have been in a little bit of a rut. And so today I'm talking about how to get out of a rut and the things that I've been doing to help myself. I feel like when it comes to just life in general, I feel like a lot of us are going through a lot of the same things at the same time. And I've talked to a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm right there with you, going through a rough patch or not a ton of motivation as well. So I thought this would be helpful just to give you guys some tips, tricks, things that I'm doing, and we'll see where it takes us. So first thing that I wanted to start out talking about is just when you're in a rut, the most important thing that you have to do is figure out what got you in that rut, or what's causing you to feel like you're in a rut. Is it your job is a big one for people. Are you not liking your job? Are you just going through the motions? Is it something to do with that? Is it a toxic relationship that you're in that you feel like you need to end? Is it the fact that you're just feeling more sad than you normally are recently? Or a relationship recently ended? Or you're just feeling like your day-to-day life is boring? What is it that is making you feel like you're in a rut? Are you just sick of your environment when it comes to the place that you're living? Does it feel dark? What is it that's creating this feeling in yourself that's I need to change something? Because when you're in a rut, the reason why you're kind of feeling like you're in a rut is because your brain is telling you that it needs change. Something needs to change. And your brain is so smart, and you are so smart just subconsciously with the fact that your body knows what it needs, and it's trying to trigger you. These ruts that you're in is your brain's way of triggering you that you need to do something different. And it's your job to figure out what it is. And we all have choices, and we're able to do that on our own. So whatever it is that you feel like is provoking this, I, for whatever reason, have just been feeling lower lately. I should be so excited, and I am, about life and being in a new house and whatever, but I've just been feeling lately. And so I kind of went through all the things that I've been doing that kind of made me feel this way. And so you can have these big overarching themes where you're okay, I just got out of a relationship, or I hate my job, or I don't like where I'm living, or I'm having friendship issues. You can have those big overarching things, but it could also be something so small as to are you scrolling on your phone too much? Did you get out of the habits that were originally making you happy or feel more productive? I know for me, waking up in the morning and scrolling on my phone was something that I was doing a lot, and that I would come out to my living room and watch TV first thing in the morning, and then I would wait to the very last minute and just start getting ready for work, and I just don't think that's healthy. So if you have started to forget a lot of your habits like I have, and you're scrolling on your phone too much, you're watching too much TV, you're eating bad foods, eating shit, whatever it is, try to recognize those little things that you're doing that are causing your body to be whoa, this isn't working for us. We need something different. So once you do that, there's ways that you can kind of figure out, okay, I know the reason why I'm in a rut, and you can start doing things to change it. So I've kind of started to change a lot of little things in my life. And so I'm just going to go through and give you guys pointers. I don't know why I was just holding that like that. I'm going to go through and give you guys pointers on things that I've been doing that have been helping, that might help you as well, or just give you little suggestions, tips, and tricks as we go. And I'm just going to try to rapid fire them. It's going to feel like I'm just talking at you, but hopefully it helps a little bit. So first things first, that I find so exciting about getting out of a rut, and I know that sounds so weird because when you're in a rut, you feel like shit. You're just blah. nothing's really bringing you a lot of joy. But for me personally, I love making myself my new favorite project. And that's literally what you're about to do to get yourself out of a rut. Be in the mindset that you're going to be like, okay, I am now in charge of making myself my new project in every aspect of the word. And when you're working towards something, it's just more exciting, I think. And I've always been motivated by the drive of wanting to become the best version of myself, whatever that looks like. And that includes all avenues when it comes to health, fitness, my routines, my job, my life. Like I just want to access the best potential in myself possible, and that gets me so excited. So you're about to become your new project, and the ways that we're going to do that is, first things first, I find most helpful is a morning routine. Morning routines are the things that set your day up for success. We've heard this so many times, but it's so true, and you really have to start to recognize it. I, for a while, like a year or two ago, made a goal for myself to wake up at 5 in the morning, go for a walk right away, do some like personal development reading and journal. And it honestly was such a great thing for me, but waking up at 5 a.m. just wasn't realistic long term. So I started to fall off of it very easily. And then once I moved into this house, obviously it's new, I'm out of routine, and I just found myself waking up in the morning, scrolling on my phone, watching a lot of TV, just doing things that sounded great, but they were subconsciously kind of just draining me. So more recently, I've created a better morning routine where I wake up in the morning. My top 3 things that I do are obviously make coffee or tea or whatever your preference is. That gets me excited to get out of bed. And then I read a chapter or 2 of the Bible, however I'm feeling. And then I journal about it, or like journal about my feelings. And then I normally pray. Those are like my morning quiet time things that set the tone for my day. They make me feel better. It can be different for everybody. If you're somebody that wants to wake up in the morning and go for a walk right away, get outside, that is so good for you. If you're someone who just wants to wake up in the morning and just have your coffee quietly and maybe read a book, or I don't know, everybody can do something different when it comes to your morning routine, but I think setting your intention for your day, sometimes doing a gratitude journal is a really great way as well. And now I'm right there with you when it comes to these things. It sounds great in the moment, but then when it comes to actually waking up, you're like, oh, I just want to snooze my alarm, sleep in. That's the time when your discipline needs to kick in and be like, hey, I've been doing this every single day. I've been snoozing my alarm and I feel like shit. I need to change something. So the minute your alarm goes off, you need to be like, I'm getting up, I'm doing this. And the first couple times you do it, it's going to feel like you're just going through the motions. You're going to feel like, I honestly not that much better right off the bat, but the more that you do it, the more you realize how good it is for you and how much it's changing you. So highly recommend setting a new morning routine. It's just quite literally the best thing that you could do for yourself. That is like my number one tip. Another tip I have is go for more walks. Walking is the most underestimated thing ever, I think. It is so good for you. It is a great form of cardio. It gets your body moving. If I'm ever feeling like down and just like I'm sitting around the house like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself, whatever, get up and go for a walk. It's quite literally the best thing you can do. Listen to a podcast, listen to your favorite music. And when it comes to music, when you're in a rut, don't sit there listening to sad music day in and day out. It is seriously so easy to get in those moods where you're just like, oh, I'm going to listen to, I don't know, sad Taylor Swift all day, or like Goo Goo Dolls. I love them, but like their music can be sad sometimes. Whatever music you're listening to, just try to make it like hype up music. Like country music can be depressing sometimes. You just got to find music that you love that like gets you feeling good. Throwbacks are always a good idea. Podcasts I love just because there are ways to like motivate and inspire you as you go as well. I love going for worship walks. Obviously, my faith is a big part of my life, and that is what brings me a lot of like joy when it comes to like hard seasons. If you can give it to God, it's quite literally the best thing that you can do. So when you're on a walk, maybe listen to worship music and just pray. Like literally pray out loud. If people aren't around you, obviously you don't want to look crazy, or pray in your head. Just talk to him about things that you're struggling with. I promise he will help you even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Going off of obviously going for walks is another great thing I love to do is pray, like I'm talking about. When you invite God into your struggles, He's able to help you carry it. He's right there with you. He knows why you're going through this. Obviously, it's so hard for us to understand when we're going through something rough or we're just feeling stuck in our life and we're like, God, what are you doing? Where are you? I don't feel like you're around. He's there regardless. And the more that you invite Him into it and the more that you explain the way you're feeling, the more that He will help you. And the other good thing to notice about or like recognize when it comes to praying is that for me, a lot of times when I pray, I don't necessarily get answers. I just pray because I know that He's listening. But when you pray, He's always listening. Like it's in the Bible, God hears your prayers, like, and He answers them regardless. And the way that He's answering them is either yes, no, or not yet. And you could be in a season of not yet. And so you feel like He's not there, or He just keeps saying, no, that's not where you're meant to go. And you're not getting that clear answer. I really can't hear the voice of God. I've gotten signs from Him before, but I'm not good at hearing it like vocally. And when people do, I'm like, I'm so jealous of you. That would be awesome. I would love to be able to just have a literal conversation with Him. But you can when it comes to praying, like literally just pray all of your worries away. You can sit there and be like, I'm so pissed at you right now, God. I don't know why we're doing this. And He's listening and He's answering. He's a good Father and He's right there with you. So if you're going through a rough season, pray about it. As cliche as it might sound, even if you're not in your faith that much, I promise it will bring you a lot of peace, and it is so, so helpful. So I just wanted to go on a tangent about that. The other tip that I heard from Shelby Sacco from her like Sad to Savage podcast was to have a treadmill show. If you're someone like me who loves watching TV, like it genuinely brings me joy. I think watching shows is amazing, but I know I need to cut back on it. Have a show specifically dedicated to when you're walking on a treadmill. So obviously getting outside and walking, like I was talking about, is a great thing to do. But if you just have a treadmill at home or you're going to the gym and you just want to like get your steps in for the day, get yourself a treadmill show that you only watch while you're walking on the treadmill. That in and of itself will motivate you to go to the gym and at least walk in the treadmill for a little bit. And maybe once you're already there, you'll then do a workout afterwards. If not, just go there, watch your show for 30, 40 minutes on the treadmill and leave. That's fine too. I just thought when I heard that, I was like, that is actually genius, and make it a show that you can only watch when you're on the treadmill. Just like, don't allow yourself to watch it at home. So I loved that tip. Another big one that I think is super important is to exercise. Some form of exercise is great for your body. Obviously, we already talked about walking, but I think when it comes to exercise, when you're in a rut, you got to have something to work towards to distract your mind from the fact that you're in a rut. So for me, I love doing some type of challenge. Coming up October 1st, I found this challenge. It's called I don't even know why it's called this, but it's called 75 Hard for Jesus or something. It's not like the 75 Hard really at all, but the challenge is basically to read a chapter of the Bible every day, practice gratitude, do 5 workouts a week, cut out something for 75 days. So I'm going to cut out alcohol and no gossip, I think was like the 5 things. And it says like, watch your life change in 75 days. So I love to do a challenge like that to get myself out of a rut, and it just makes you more accountable. For you, it could be something like, I want to run a 5K, or I don't know, want my clothes to fit better. I don't necessarily like making goals surrounding losing weight, because I think the scale changes so much, and as you gain muscle, you gain weight, and I don't know. So if you want to do that, you can, but have something that you're working towards and stay consistent with it. And remember that majority of the time, it's going to take way more discipline than it is motivation to get you to that goal. Especially when you're in a rut, it's so hard to, when you're like feeling low and you're just like sitting at home and you're like, I would love to just watch a show right now and do nothing. I deserve it because I'm feeling like shit. I just deserve a time to relax. And it's okay to do that once or twice. But if you're consistently coming home from work every day and you're like, work drained me, I deserve a night at home, and you're saying it so much, it's time to get up and like realize that you're making excuses and just go. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to want to go work out. You're going to think it sounds terrible, but I promise if you go and you show up and you go through the motions, you're going to feel so much better afterwards. I cannot stress that enough. I used to always, before I was into working out or going to the gym, I always was like searching on Google how to find motivation, how to stay motivated. Da, 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 da. It's so unrealistic. It's not real. Motivation is so fleeting, and you really just have to be disciplined in what you're working towards. So that's why having a goal or a challenge, I think, is so great. And it kind of tricks your mind into, wait a second, like, we got to go do this. If it's to work out 4 to 5 times a week, if it's the last day of the week and you've only worked out 4 times, you got to go. Or you've only worked out 3 times, you got to go. If it's running, you don't want to lose your endurance, whatever it is, you got to stay disciplined. And I promise it will get better and you'll start to fall in love with it as you go. And it's just so good for you. When you work out, you release endorphins naturally. It's going to make you feel happier. You feel more productive. When you are keeping the promises that you make to yourself, you naturally become more confident. So regardless, get out there, exercise, work towards something. I promise it'll get better. Another big one for people, and for myself, I've talked about this a lot, is one big reason that people get into ruts is their job. It is so easy to get stuck into the same like routine of just like getting up, going to work, coming home, going to bed. Like, it's just like blah. And when you start to feel like you're not excited about your job anymore, honestly, start applying for other jobs. Like, I am someone who's like, the minute you lose that drive and motivation for the career that you're in, find a different career. It is so fun, I think, to update your resume, look for jobs that are out there, scroll TikTok looking for different types of jobs, whatever it is. If you're feeling like you're in a rut when it comes to your career, spend 10, 15 minutes a day updating your resume, applying for jobs, whatever it is. It can be exciting and it's fun to be like, oh my gosh, this is a job that looks like something I'd be into. And that is a huge change in your life. You spend a lot of your life working. And so you got to find a job that you love. So if you don't love your job right now, go start applying. Best tip. One other one I have is to pick up a new hobby, or I don't even know if I would call it a hobby. Just pick up a new thing that you want to try or become good at. If the reason that you're feeling like you're in a rut is because your life is just boring, you're stuck in the same routine over and over, picking up a new hobby can bring some sort of excitement to it. It could be something as simple as planning like a weekly walk with your friend. Go for a walk every single Wednesday with your friend. It's something you can look forward to in a day. Or make yourself a goal to cook twice a week. If you've been eating like shit lately and you're just like, I need to start doing better, get yourself a cookbook and cook your way all the way through it and cook 2 to 3 times a week, whatever it is, just to get yourself excited about cooking again. I know it can be so overwhelming and hard to like find new recipes. I always get in ruts when it comes to food. Like, I'm just like, ugh, I feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over. But if you get a cookbook, it literally will lay it out for you. Find a recipe that you like and just start cooking your way through it. I feel like that will be super fun. Get a good book. Reading a book, I feel like, is so much better than watching TV. And if you love watching TV and that brings you joy, keep doing it. Like, that's okay. I'm never probably going to give it up for life, but it's good just to cut back a little bit. But I feel like when you have a good book that you're like really into and you're excited to read, it's naturally working your brain. You're reading, you're thinking about something else, and it's kind of like watching a show, but you feel a little bit more productive. And it also might excite you to get into bed and like go to bed earlier, focus on your sleep, because if you're reading a good book, it makes you want to get into bed earlier, and then eventually you'll probably get tired, fall asleep, and you'll get more sleep. Obviously, focusing on your sleep is a huge one too. That is essential. It's not a brag to be like, oh my gosh, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. Oh, I've been working so hard. I think sleep is one of the most important things. And there's so many studies out there that show that people who don't sleep well end up aging faster. So really focus on your sleep. Try to create a good nighttime routine. Like I said before, create a good morning routine. That's a tangent, but get good sleep, whatever it is. Like, that could be the reason that you're in a rut. Don't stay up till 12 o'clock at night or like midnight scrolling on your phone. Put the phone away when it hits 10 o'clock, whatever, and be done. I promise you'll thank yourself in the morning. The last one I wanted to talk about was community. It is so essential when you're feeling low or in a rut, or just more sad than you normally are. Obviously, don't be so hard on yourself, because it can be just like hormones changing, environment changing, whatever it might be. But when it comes to your community, try to open up to them, open up to friends, whoever it is. If you just have one friend that you're like, I just want to text them and be like, dude, I've been down lately. I don't know about you. Like, I'm struggling. If you could hold me accountable in XYZ, that would be great. You got to have good people in your life that help pick you up. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, other people are going through what you're going through as well. When I opened up to my friend, she was like, dude, I've been so low lately too. Like, this sucks. And so we went on a walk, you talk about it. Like, it's just so essential to have people in your corner that are like rooting for you, championing you, and just helping you get out of it. I just think it is so crucial to have good people in your corner that you can be open and honest with. It's so easy to have surface level friendships that you only hang out when you go out and drink. That's a whole different topic. But I do also think that if you're somebody who is drinking a lot on the weekends, that may be a huge contributor as to why you're feeling so blah during the week. I know for me, at least, summer got the best of me, and I had plans a lot on the weekends, and it was really hard coming back to the weekday, not being well rested. Obviously, summer is so fun and there's always so much going on. But if you're drinking a lot or whatever you got, like consuming a lot of nicotine or something that's like really like more of a depressant and is like weighing you down, and then you start Monday and you're just like, I'm already tired, I feel like shit, I wasn't well rested on the weekend, try to be super conscious about how much you're drinking and maybe try to find something different to do on the weekends. You can show up to a party and not drink. Trust me, I've done it, and it is a-okay. It's actually way more fun to go home at like 9-10 o'clock at night and get good sleep than it is to be so hungover the next day. Hangovers are the thing that make me realize that I'm in a rut more than anything. Anxiety is so real, and if you're somebody who's drinking a lot and you're like, can't wait for Friday because you want to drink again, and then Monday comes around and you're so tired, it may be because of your drinking habits. So that was a little tangent, but if you feel like that is a big reason why you're in a rut, try to cut back. We're going into like holiday season, fall. There's a lot more fun activities to do during the day that don't necessarily involve drinking, or drink in moderation if you want to, by all means. I love a cocktail, but so that was a tangent. Obviously, community. Get good people in your life, get good people in your corner, open up to people. You're not meant to go through life alone. It is not the purpose. If you're in a relationship, open up to them with how you're feeling. If your family is super supportive, you can talk to them. I don't know. I know it can be uncomfortable, but either way, just get people in your corner and know that you're not alone. It is so hard when you're in a rut, don't get me wrong, to just stay in it. And you've probably been in it for a couple days, couple weeks now, and they normally last for a little while. But until you start doing something to change it, it's not going to go away. And you have to stop sitting around and waiting for something to change. You have to be the person to get up and do it on your own. And I know it's hard and I know it sucks, but again, like I talked about before, you have to have discipline surrounding it. It is so much easier to sit and watch TV. It's so much easier to sit and feel sorry for yourself, to listen to a sad song, whatever it is. You have to be the one that pulls you out of it and says, you know what? I know it's easier to listen to the sad song, but I'm going to listen to a happy song. I know it's easier to watch TV, but I'm going to go for a walk. I know it's easier to snooze my alarm, but I'm going to wake up early. Whatever it is, you have to be the one to change it. And we all know if nothing changes, nothing changes. So remember that in the back of your head, and also just know that I'm in it with you, and just do whatever you have to do to start feeling 1% better every single day. I know we've all heard that quote 1,000 times, but every single day you wake up 1% better. So all you have to focus on, you don't have to radically change everything overnight. And I know I just gave you a lot of tips, so it can feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. Just focus on one thing, like one thing at a time. Once you get good at that, then you can incorporate something else, so on and so forth. We all go through ruts. We're going to go through many more in our future, but these are just some tips and tricks that I have that help me get out of them. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys for listening. As always, if you like this, share it with a friend. That helps me so much. And yeah, I'm just so thankful, you guys. I'm excited to get out of this rut and get into a new podcast room and just, start getting 1% better every single day. But love you guys so much. Thank you always for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace and love. Bye.